you guys doing today? My name is Anima, and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle for you all, this time against Ruben. Thank you very much for appearing on the channel today, Ruben. Ruben is a very talented battler. This is a battle that was supposed to be in the RU tier, but my opponent did in fact bring a bunch of NU Pokemon, and I was like, okay, we'll just see how this goes, because one tier differences don't necessarily determine the outcome completely. There'll be a question of the day at the end of the video. Can we get this video to 80 whole entire likes? I don't really know if the average like count is suitable enough to bump yet. I don't really know. I don't know how do I YouTube? That sounds like an awfully high number. Can we reach it? You decide at the end of the video, folks. With that said, let's hit play, and you're gonna see precisely what I saw. So, looking at the team, I know I can't see a spinner, so I'm just going to lead with my beautiful, sweet Bittens, and out comes the Skylord. This is a great lead for me. This is totally fine and physically defensive. I can take anything this Swallow can do, so we're going to take a Brave Bird to the dome! Unfortunately, it is a critical hit, but it doesn't matter that much, really, in the grand scheme of things. Going to go for the Stealth Rock, getting those rocks up, which is extremely important to whittling down my opponent's team. Punishing switches is always a grand old time, so the Swallow is going to get its guts burned, and that's very sad indeed. And go for the U-turn, which is honestly totally fine by me. It's going to take some damage when it comes back in, and that's totally fine and chill and dandy. So that's honestly totally cool. I did decide to go for the Roost just because the, you know, the crit and the damage is just not cool, okay? It's not cool. I want to be able to be at decent health just in case the Primate wants to come in. So out comes the Wall of China, taking a knockoff to the face. Doesn't care, it's going to go for Stealth Rock. The Wall of China is honestly just Chinese and wally. Don't really know what to do about it. Anyway, I do have a 4x effective Earthquake for it, but because Bastiodon is so defensive, it's going to take that just fine. Not that I'm an offensive Gligar in the least. Anyway, I do get roared out into Dory, which is honestly pretty amazing for me. I'm going to be able to go for that Waterfall and slap the Wall of China in the face. I'm sorry, China! I didn't mean to slap your wall. Admittedly, it's not that effective. It is a wall, and I am just me. But we are going to take out that Bastiodon, which is obviously extremely nice for us. Get that useless speed boost, useless at this point anyway. And out comes the Exeggutor. Now, what I should have done was crunch this thing right in the face. That's what I should have done. You don't need to tell me, I know that. But the reason why I didn't is because if it somehow survived, then it could have Giga Drained me and I lose my late game sweeper. So I do decide to pull the switch out into Digit because I know I can take anything this thing does, and I can Volt Switch, I can Hidden Power Fire, I can do whatever the hell I want. But we are going to go for that Hidden Power Fire. I should have gone for the Volt Switch, I truly should have, but my opponent switches out into Rojo, predicting the Fire-type move, I suppose. It was a very, very, very risky prediction, and it paid off handsomely. This is, in fact, a Moody Octillery, which, honestly, Moody is banned, but, like, you know, my opponent probably didn't know that. And, you know, it's whatever. He's using a tier below me, so I don't even mind. Anyway, so don't give him grief, please. Anyway, so I'm going to get that speed boost, which is going to outspeed my Magneton. We don't know if this thing is Scarfed or Specs or anything like that. Does seem to be Specs, though, perhaps, because I didn't see a Life Orb, didn't see Lefty's pop unless it happened and I was just looking away. Just then, both times I've ever had the chance to see that, which is very sad. Unfortunately, I go into Hero. That's not unfortunate enough, but I locked myself into Return, which is not a great idea because the Exeggutor is then free to come out. And I should have locked myself into Brave Bird, but I did not want to take Recoil, and these conservative plays are costing me. They are costing me. I should be playing more aggressively. That's typically, you know, that's a little more my thing, I think, but it's kind of biting me in the ass here to not be just going for it and trying to do double switches and crazy stuff. So I do go into Despair. That's very mysterious, I know, but I need to get a Toxic on this thing because Exeggutors pack Harvest, and that's very, very bad. And because of that, one needs to plant a Toxic on them so they can die. A guaranteed death. So I'm really happy I've got the Toxic on the Exeggutor. Despair is the only Pokemon on my team that packs the Toxic, which is why I switched it in. And thankfully my opponent is like, why have you switched in like a water type? I Giga Drain that any second. So keeps going for the Psy Shock, which is honestly really, really great. This is how you can kind of just sort of bring in something that the opponent would not expect. And they'll just kind of stubbornly go for the correct play, because the correct play is for you to switch out, really. But you know, so you can kind of mess around with that. But anyway, the Toxic is starting to chip in, but the Harvest is just helping this thing so much. It's helping this thing so much. And at this point, I don't believe I was running knockoff on Despair, so I can't knock off the Citrus Berry with that. So this is why I'm going to Bittens, because I want to get the knockoff thing. And my opponent is going for Psy Shocks, Giga Drains, just kind of you know, turn by turn going for a different thing, just trying to throw me off, trying to catch me. Thankfully, the Psyshock hits Bittens, who is physically defensive, so it doesn't matter, and I'm going to be able to go for the knockoff to hit the Sky Lord. And I do get a lucky crit. I don't really know how much this mattered in the long run. Maybe it's some extra damage from onto Bittens would have been very useful for my opponent. Either way, the Sky Lord is going to go down, and Bittens is just kind of fine, really. Out comes Longface, and this thing is my death. Look at it! It's the Grim Sodding Reaper for all I care. Anyway, it's gonna go for the aromatherapy, and this is awful. This is awful because this means the Executor is fully healed of its poisoning, which means all that crap with the Lomomolo was absolutely fruitless. And this thing actually packs the Wish. Its full moveset is aromatherapy, Wish, Moonblast, and you'll find out very soon. So, gonna keep going for the Moonblast here, and this is weakening Bittens. This is weakening Bittens so much, and I'm gonna have to fart around going for Roost just to try and keep Bittens alive. I did not want to switch out. I didn't want to switch out because if you noticed, team preview, I have dark types and fighting types. I know that my Embor would live a Moonblast, but doesn't want to take it, and I can't retaliate very well. Sharpedo will not live a Moonblast because Sharpedo's defenses are paper thin. I am stuck. I am stuck right now. I have to stay in my Gligar because I don't want to take a Moonblast to the face. I really, really, really don't. Gligar's the only one apart from Alomomomomomo that can take Moonblast to this thing. And I can't really poison it because it's just going to aromatherapy itself, and oh my god, it's just terrible. Looking back, I should have switched into Alomomomo. I should have tried to poison it and used an aromatherapy turn to switch out into somebody else. That would have been nice, but even then, I don't think I can OHKO this thing with it wishing and stuff. So, so it was difficult. I just had to kind of look for a break. I just had to kind of sit there and camp out, and that's not very good. It wasn't a very good idea. Anyway, Executor's going to come in, munch on some weird plant that's messed up. If I started chewing on my own arm halfway through talking to somebody, I think I'd be checked in or something. But regardless, Executor is going to chew on its own berry, where is the berry? I don't even know. I'm not going to finish that sentence, and get the full Wish, and my opponent's going to go back into Longface to take the knockoff. He is playing me like a fiddle. Ruben, you are cruel. And I'm going to go for that EQ, just trying to get some more damage on Longface, and it's going to go for the Wish. And we're going to find out what that last move is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There is the Protect. And honestly, Wish Protect, amazing. Amazing healing ability. So Longface is going to get its Wish come true, and I'm like, good for you. That's just great. I'm so happy for you. And out comes Executor again to take an EQ. And now you see, I'm playing very obviously, and I'm sorry about that, folks. It happens to us all. But I'm in a bit of a situation here. I'm just trying to bloody knock off this thing, and I finally do. My opponent finally stays in with a bloody Executor, and you know, and manages to Giga Drain me. And this is honestly upsetting. This is honestly depressing. Bittens is gonna go down now, and I'm like, okay, well, if I just go into Sharpedo now, I can bite its face off. If I go into Brave Yara, I can just Brave Bird its face off. Wonderful, great, amazing. So I go into Hero here, and I'm like, okay, just need a Brave Bird right now. So I do go for it, and we're gonna finally see this coconut twat go down. It's great. So down goes Executor, and my hero, man, you are my hero. We're going to take a hefty chunk of recoil, which is unfortunate, and out comes Caesar, and the exact way it's brought in tells me it's scarfed, but I can't switch, really, honestly, not really. So I'm going to go down to a close combat. Primeape, scarfed, late game, gigantic threat. I do believe it still belongs in NU, but still, it's very, very good. These close combats are powerful because they're stab. I'm not sure what nature this is. Could be Jolly Scarf just because it outsped Braviary, but I'm not really sure if I'm Adamant Scarf. I think I might be Adamant Scarf. Anyway, we're going to take a gigantic chunk of damage from these close combats, and we're just going to go for the Protect, just trying to live another one. And yeah, it was a bit sad to miss a Toxic there. it was very sad to miss a Toxic there, but you know, ultimately, like it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter that much. I don't think. Maybe it could have done, but it's not that useful. So we're gonna go into Purk, and I can kill this thing. Easy peasy with a Fire Blast, and kill it with anything because of the defense drops. So my opponent is gonna switch out. Not confident that they can kill Purk in one hit, and I do believe that's true because I'm max HP. And goes into Longface, who can take fighting moves, who can take whatever, but I do go for the Fire Blast, And I land it, which is so nice, which is very nice. And now, if Pure can land this next Fire Blast, we're safe. But Pure can't. If Pure does not land the Fire Blast, we take a Moon Blast to the face. As you can see, that's a lot of damage. And we get the special attack drop. And I'm a special attacking, well, I'm a mixed Embor, so that's kind of, yeah, no, it's unfortunate. But you know, like, it's whatever, it's whatever. So we're gonna be in a very unfortunate position now. We're at 2 low health, and this thing is gonna come in, and it's gonna be able to kill us for the close combat. So there it is. My pig is gonna get punched in the face. I'm sorry, Pjork, beloved, sweet Pjork. I'm so sorry that that mean monkey pig thing, whatever, punched you in the head. I'm really, really sorry about that. I'd be upset if I got punched in the head too. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So we're gonna go into Dory. We're gonna try and go for that protect, just trying to outspeed what is obviously a scarfed creature. If I could get 2 protects, that'd be great, but I don't like relying on a double protect. I really don't. I don't feel confident in my luck. So we're gonna die to a close combat, and that's gonna be the game. That's an extremely, extremely close game. Well played, Ruben. You definitely played amazingly, even with your team disadvantage, team tier disadvantage. And honestly, that was really great. I really enjoyed that battle. Be sure to check Ruben out on Twitter. His Twitter link will be in the description down below if you want a worthy opponent, obviously. Today's question of the day is going to be, what is a Pokemon that's in a lower tier? So a Pokemon in NU, UU, or whatever. Even OU, really, but mostly NU, UU, RU, that sort of thing. That you feel belongs in a tier above. Or that you feel is just kind of too good for that tier, but you're not really sure if it should go in a tier above. A Pokemon that, like an NU Pokemon, that is just so good, that is just so amazing. Or like a RU Pokemon that's just amazing, that is just really powerful. That you feel belongs in a tier above, you know, that kind of thing. That's pretty, you know. Just because the battle has been very tier orientated. Not really. My answer to this question is Granbull. Granbull is a beast. It's an amazing Pokemon. It does work at OU. I think it's amazing. It's an excellent Conkeldurr counter. It can deal with Garchomp easily enough. It can deal with physical attackers easy peasy. Has T-Wave. It has Play Rough with a decent monstrous attack stat. It has access to Earthquake. It can Ice Punch. It can do so many things. Granbull's utility is unbelievable. It even has Heal Bell. So as a physically defensive wall, Granbull is brilliant. Everybody use Granbull. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye!